All of an Isofix child seat fitting to a 2001 Volvo V70. It's going into the passenger side rear seat. The kit comes with a bracket, a new nut, a new washer and a new bolt. And first up, the operation of the Isofix bracket is to engage on the two catch mechanisms that will be on your seat base or seat, whichever you're using. And when it fits into the car, the two fittings go onto the catches, click together, and it's nice and secure. And then when you come to release it, you press the button at the front for this model, and that releases the anchor point, allows you to remove the base, and saves messing around with seat belts and buckles and tensioning everything up. One swift easy motion. So I'm going to go back into the car now and we'll lift the seats up and try and get this fitted. So inside the car, to make yourself some more room, lift up the seat base by pulling on the tang in the corner there. Lift the seat base clear, same again with the one closest to you. This is the side that I'm fitting the Isofix bracket to. It's the side that's got the double buckles. V70, the S80 I believe is opposite configuration with a double buckle over the other side. First up, for this side, you need to loosen this 17mm head bolt from the retainer device for the seat base. That won't make it loose once you've got the bolt out. So I've loosened this one off already. That comes out and leaves you with one anchor point. So that stays still, so it's either bolted underneath or spot welded. And then for the other side, just look across opposite the first anchor point and you'll find a perforated circle. Pull that out, and that reveals just a stud for your nut and your washer to go on. And that's about as much disassembly as we need. So I'll bring the bracket in under the seat backrest, just tuck it up under there and line the holes up with firstly the stud and then the other side with the bolt hole. They do supply you with a new bolt which has got fresh locking compound on it, so it's advisable to use that. So we'll get that nut and the bolt back on and torque it up to the correct spec, which I believe for this inboard bolt is 40 Newton meters, and for the outboard bolt, or the nut, sorry, is 30 Newton meters. So I'll get those pieces on there and assembled now, and then we'll see how the seat base fits. Right, so with the new bolt, it's got the fresh Loctite on, or the fresh locking compound. Line it up. Just start it off by finger, with your fingers first. You should go in freely for the first 2 to 3 turns. In this case, more like the first 5 turns by hand, and then you know you've got the threads aligned properly. Over the other side, washer goes on first, then the nut. Again, using your fingers to tighten it up for the first 5 or 6 turns, and then you can get your ratchet and socket set on that, tighten it up to the correct spec, and then drop the seats down, install the base. Okay, with the seat bases back down, it's time to try the seat. Now, you can't actually see the Isofix bracket when all the seat's back in its original position. I do think there's covers available to protect the leather when you put the Isofix seating in, but for me I'm just going to stick with a small piece of towel or something to begin with, just to take the strain on the leather. If I push down the back of the leather, that can possibly just about make out the bracket. It's more or less in line, the centre of the bracket is more or less in line with each crease of the seat. On this side, the bracket starts about here to there. This one, the middle of the bracket's about in line with the stitching seam, So for this maxi cozy base, to start with, we need to push this end button in all the way and push that all the way through the seat base until it stops. That will give us full extension of the Isofix catches at the back, and then that's when we start to guide it in to the catches on the Isofix bracket itself. So I'm going to line up the first catch on the inboard side with the stitching seam. The other one's just inside from the edge of the seat bolster. So I found the best way for me to do it here is to apply some pressure onto the Maxi Cozy badge area as I push the catches in. At the same time, I'm going to push at the front of the seat, just on this front edge here, without pressing the button, and then we should hear 2 catches engage. So I'm going to push down slightly to compress the filling, and then they're going to push on the front of the seat, and we should hear 2 catches engage. And that's both of them engaged now. The next step is to push the whole seat base back towards the backrest until it's secure. 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks is the max I got. And then I need to set up the floor support. So the idea being is that a green indicator fills this telltale hole, and to adjust this I've got to push this catch mechanism back with a finger on one side, thumb on the other, and raise that up to the top to begin with. As you can see, we've got a red indicator in the window. So I then need to push the catch down, push it down until it supports the weight of the seat. I'm going to push down slightly also. And we'll go to the next catch. Push the catch out, push the leg down. And once the weight of the baby seat's in there, that catch is engaged fully. Okay, so using a bit of extra force to push this outer leg down while you've got the catch out, and then release the catch and let it click into its final position. We've got a green indicator in the window all times. There's no gaps underneath the seat base, all the way along into the seat backrest. And just getting hold of that now and giving it a good firm shove. There's absolutely no movement in that. It's many times more secure than any seatbelt system I've ever used. And we're looking for the green indicator in the floor support, and also a green indicator that the Isofix catches are engaged on the bracket, and that's completely fitted and secure. We don't need to remove this base at any time unless we're moving the seat to a different car. And with the seat, Maxi Cozy seat sliding in, we then push it down for a click. 2 clicks there, and the green indicator in the window on this side and the same on the other side tells us it's in and secure. And then I think we just need to adjust the angle of lean, make sure it sits nice and securely. But that's about all there is to it, folks.